All right, guys, this is great. I'm super pumped about today. Steve and I just met because Sam introduced us, and you run into people and you make connections with people that you feel like, man, why didn't this happen a while ago? You make friendships with people that you're like, dude, this is an easy connection, and that's what happened with Steve. And I'm so happy you're on the show today. I've been watching your stuff forever.
Cool.
All over the place, and respect what you do and respect your philosophy behind why you do what you do. And excited to have you on today. And as always, Sam, it's great to have you on.
Thanks for having me again, Ryan. I appreciate
I can't keep him away. So it's great to be here. We had a nice ping pong battle before. I lost. I didn't even make it to the final round. These two did. And Sam, I think, is the champion.
Sam is the champion. I don't like to admit that, but he is.
So anybody out there want to come in and challenge Sam in a ping pong match, just let us know, and you can meet us over here, and we'll smash a match. So
I think that's a whole marketing thing right there. If they beat Sam, they get $250 off Smash.
There you go.
For the first month. Why not?
Yeah, that sounds
great
good.
idea.
That sounds
Not
good.
only will
Let's
he help
do
your
it.
business, but we'll give you a deal if you can beat him.
Yeah.
You got to lose, man. Actually, no, you got to win. But
No, never let anybody win, no matter what. Even when my customers play me, we do that little offer for $250, and I haven't let any customer win. One guy, I smashed him like 21-1.
Wait, you actually do that?
Yeah. I don't. My kids, I don't take it easy on anybody, so nobody really wants to play with me.
Right.
I don't have like a slow gear. It's like I'm all in.
That's great, man. That's great. Well, It's great to have you on here, and I want to, obviously, from a marketing standpoint, you understand that. I think you're way ahead of your time as far as what you do and what you focus on in marketing. But I want to talk about your industry a little bit.
Sure.
A lot of things are on the computer, and you could find yourself sitting behind a computer. This is me, behind a computer all day long, answering emails. Everything's digital, okay? And sometimes you forget there's like this whole other world out there of occupations and industries where you're still using your head and your hands together. Right. And I want to know from you, like, what opportunities are there and built into that? Like, how did you get into it?
So I guess I started when I was 14. I started working for a company that's no longer here. They were like the pioneer, huge company at that time. I think in 96, it was doing $30 million. So that's probably $100 million company now. Wouldn't you say? Like
They had the industry wrapped up for sure.
Yeah, they had the industry wrapped up, and I was flipping pizzas at Domino's, but my neighbor was the owner's sister, and she had ownership, and she just saw how hard I worked. So she's like, "You want to make $7 an hour?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." And she's like, and I was like, "How many hours am I allowed to work?" And she's like, "As many as you want." I was like,
Back when
perfect.
kids could work.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they can't.
That's how long ago it was.
You shouldn't work 70 hours a week at 14. I think you should have a little bit of a childhood.
Why
But
not?
For me, I loved it. I was like, I had so much money in my pocket. It was insane. I think it was important too because it taught me, like, look at all this money I'm spending on nothing. You figure that out a little earlier in life. So, but yeah, that's how I got into the industry. In '99, I had a lot of exchanges with my boss because there was a lot of good things that he taught, but I don't think his motives were righteous by any means. So as a 18, 19-year-old would do, I had a little bit of a temper. I threw my big Nextel brick phone at him and told him I'm done for like the 8th time. And finally, he would come to my house and I'd take his car. He'd be like, "What do you want?" Like he didn't want me to leave. I don't know why. But I went on my own at 19. I got the opportunity from Sam's father and Mike, which is your brother, and we started Paver Maintenance Specialists. So That's the start was with his father. His father funded us $15,000 plus he had co-signed for couple trucks. I think I had a little bit of a truck. Like I wanted to buy everything, but I also, Mike, if you're watching, I wanted to pay your dad back first, so we paid him back right away. I'm not saying Mike didn't, but I was speedily trying to make sure that I made, because I wanted to make sure he knew he made a good investment too, because his father his whole family I hold in super high regard. So, I mean, that's kind of how I got started is
wow.
I was working with his brother, and then his brother went into a sweeping business, and I think that was in like 02, 03.
Okay.
And yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty much it. But I would watch this guy. It was so cool because I basically lived at his house. I'd watch this guy just hustle. I mean, it would be like lawnmowers all over the, in the driveway, and they were changing blades and cleaning blades, and it was like it was so cool. It was motivating too. So I was always around him, and he was always a good motivator because he just always moved. So I was like, I want to work like that guy works. So kind of tried to mimic what he was doing in a way, but in my own industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anything to say about any of that?
Yeah, it was like 3 days into working for the competitor that he was talking about when I realized he wasn't going to be around for long because he just had a certain hustle in him, and he was young and slightly arrogant. He had drive like you wouldn't believe. And it was pretty obvious that he was going to go out and do something special. So it was fun watching him as well.
Okay. Did you guys ever work together? Did you guys ever collaborate on projects?
Tons.
We have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tons.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of big work. Very grateful. We were putting driveways in for him. We were doing all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, when I first got started, he was one of the first ones that gave us opportunity because we were just doing restoration when it was his brother and I. But then getting into the whole building and repairing and all that was like later on.
Okay.
And that's where PMS, kind of came from because it was like we were pigeonholed with paver maintenance specialists.
Right.
For our name, didn't know that at the time. And his dad actually was the one that came up with PMS, but unintentionally as well, until we wrote it all out. And I was like, well, we already incorporated it. You remember we had sent the file in.
I just remember a lot of people were asking what exactly they did with the name of PMS.
That's what I always wondered. I was like,
it was always a question, but after a while you realize this name gets a lot of attention.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know what it is.
Right.
That was Mr. Lagrasso, so he can you guys can you can thank him for that because he always lets me know it too when I see him. He's like, I came up with that name, because everybody, all my sales guys, everybody I work with, how many times do you think we hear the name of your company's PMS? Why?
Right.
Well, and it was unintentional, but it said what we did in our name, so that's why it
Perfect,
was like,
man.
And we were already bought in at that point till we figured it out. So it was like, you know what? Let's make it a big P, a big M, a big S for paver maintenance specialist, and that's where PMS kind of came from.
All right. And then what about the tagline? I mean, we're the guys.
Oh, this is crazy. So the tagline, I had, what was the company? The English Gardens. So I went on it was AM 950, and I was doing weekend spots on AM 950.
When was this?
This was like in 09. And I wanted to, do I need to speak in?
No.
Okay. So in 09, I go on and I'm at 950 and I was like, I don't want to repeat the phone number. I don't know if you guys ever listen to radio. I don't anymore. But when you did, you'd hear people repeat their phone number 1,000 times. And I'm like, no one's ever going to remember that.
Right.
You got to come up with something, that people will remember and then point it to a website before really that was popular. So I was thinking of I have all kinds of them. I think I have probably 500 domains that I pay for that are insane, like brickpaverrepair.com.
Right.
I own everything. Like any domain, I just buy domains. So we ended up just selling one too that I was never going to use. where was I at, dude? Bring me back to where we were.
I want to know where the tagline came
Oh,
from.
so when we came up with We're the Guys, I was at CBS 950 shooting, and the guy that was doing my website, I had him set it all up for me. So I started pounding the commercials. Commercials are going great. Everyone's talking about it in the car. The kids are yelling, "We're the Guys." It was so annoying and catchy that I got English Garden's attention. They were like, "What is this guy doing? How is he able to do this?" And no, I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. I was only paying like $20 a spot to be on there. I mean, obviously the spots went up after I got on there because I just bought the whole mornings. Like Saturday and Sunday morning, sure, I'm in. So I really personalized the message, and then I was able to convey where to go. So it was like, if you want this, we're the guys. If you want this, we're the guys. If you want this, we're the guys. Go to we'retheguys.com. That's right. Go to weretheguys.com. So I'd keep saying that, and then people would go to weretheguys.com. Now, that brought some struggles because before that domain name was like recognized, people were going to websites that were not inappropriate,
right.
You know, because we didn't have that, and like, where are you sending me? It just didn't register yet on Google, but once it did, and we got through that, it was really good. And then the guy stole my website when he quit CBS. Yeah, he stole it and shut my website down while I'm running ads. So I had to find him in Ferndale, and we were able to talk it out, and he gave me the website, and I had to scramble. We had to scramble to get it back up. I was marketing and no leads because he literally took my website.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you had a nice talk with him, and he gave it back?
Yeah, I mean, we just, we had some conversations. I mean, they were probably a little heated, I would think, but, we,
got it worked out.
Yeah, we worked it out, and everybody.
I'm the guy.
Yeah. It was good. So that's where the guys came from, is I wanted people to know who we were on radio before we ever, went on television. Is like, you listen to these radio commercials, and they still do it today. It's like, call 888, and it's like, no one's going to remember this. Say it 1,000 times.
That's true, 1-800.
Yeah, and I'm not even a fan of the, like, put your name and the phone number. Like, I don't want to have to figure out what number matches the letter. Right. Just give me the numbers.
Yeah.
Wait, A is 2? Like,
we do it with 1-800 brick pavers, and people get frustrated, but at least they know how to contact us. They'll remember it, but it's frustrating.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I love it, though.
That's crazy.
The 1-800 brick pavers is a good one too. We got that in 2012, and a lot of our affiliate marketers will probably check in, like Next Gen. So we have like different states that rent that number as well, and that number it's amazing to tell somebody what's your phone number? You don't have a business card. 1-800 brick pavers. Right. I mean, if you don't remember that number, then probably not gonna be inclined to my services.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That's what's neat about, like, I'm learning about you is it seems like you're kind of like 10 steps, and I know you're gonna be very modest and humble about this, but it feels like you've kind of been a few steps ahead.
He always has been.
Yeah.
He's very creative, not shy, willing to take risk. That's why he is where he is.
Well, that's what one of my questions is going to be, is that there obviously must have been times when you took a leap or did something and you're like, oh, that wasn't the right step. I mean, I'm assuming there were mistakes with that creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I paid for a lot of Harvard educations. I don't have the the diplomas, but yeah, I've gotten crushed lots of times. One of the times was in 2008, the economy started changing, and a lot of people they haven't been through that.
No.
So 2008, we were just rapping about this earlier.
Yeah.
Like people that haven't been through that, the banks just stopped lending. So they got a bailout, they stopped lending. And then they started undervaluing property. So you'd have to come to closing with $1 million, but they weren't giving doctors loans at the time. Like the banks just basically closed. So everybody was on their own. So anybody that had debt was in trouble because nobody lent money unless you could find maybe somebody to give you a hard money line. So I was growing in '08 and 9 and 10. And what I learned is I was a low cost provider, which, that's great in many ways, but in a unpredictable business where you're digging into the earth, there's rain and there's all these different factors, you can't do that because, like, for instance, when it rains outside, and I don't care if you're doing things by hand or how you're doing them, if it rains outside, the ground acts as a suction cup. So everything you're going to do is going to take about 40% more. When you walk, you got to lift everything you do takes about 40% longer and more energy to do. So you just can't operate a business that way. And 2011, it was just the perfect storm. I was a low cost provider. It was raining every day. I thought I was fine. We didn't have like an escrow account or anything. So like I had hired Dina. I had some situation happen with my old controller and whatever. It is what it is. So Dina comes in 11 and she's like, within 3 months, I had got her here to my company, and she's a genius. Like, she's amazing. She's like, you're not going to make it. I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, I got a couple $100,000 in the bank. I'm fine. Well, right around like September, October, and I also had a child as well. So my whole business was just like shook. And I started to realize how bad it was, like day after day after day. And my daughter was taken to Florida because obviously, the woman I was with, I didn't want to be with her, but I wanted her to stay here. But she tried to take my daughter to Florida, and so I was fighting for my business. And then Pete Lucido is a good friend of mine. Thank you, Pete. He had helped me with my daughter to get my daughter up here so I could fight for my daughter because I didn't know what was going on. My head was just like, so I had just a lot of good people in my corner. But I ended up losing. I had in 11 years, I had saved up like, $500,000, and I had to give all the money that I saved, sell all my assets. I watched like just vultures that I thought were my friends just like pick me apart, which whatever, you know what?
Right.
That's how some people are. I don't get mad at it. It's just like, and I'm not going to get back at them. It's just, that's who they are. So some people are just funny with money, so it was just one of those things where to me, it's a blessing because now you know how people are with money, different people.
Right.
So it revealed that to me. I still have great relationships with everybody. It's just, how I would choose or who I would choose to do business with or how I would do business in the trust. So I ended up having for 3 or 4 years, having to work through, as everything progressed, it was like bill collectors. And I was talking to suppliers and just letting them know, like, I need time. I've been with you guys for 12 years. Please work with me. I don't have the money to pay you right now. And there were a lot of people that worked with me. A lot of people gave me grace, and that was pretty cool. That's why we operate our business that way as well. Like, there's people that we let them make payments or little pay, however it is. Like, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And I was in that situation. So I had people try to push me into bankruptcy too, but I was like, why would you want that? You want zero? I mean, that's crazy. So I worked for like 3 years for free, and I say free, like free. And then what else happened? I lost my house. I mean, it was wild stuff that was happening. My house got stolen. It was worth $460. I owed $240. They just took it. Yeah, it was wild. Like, some crazy
Ryan,
stuff.
we talk about this often, right? Like, there's no college that can teach you this stuff,
Right.
No.
right? You either just absolutely determined to win, or you don't belong in business. It's tough. This story here, and he's only scratching the surface. I know so much more of all the stuff that both him and I, went through, and a lot of people at that time went through. We see what's good. Today things have been pretty good, but man, you got to be a grinder, and you got to be determined, and you got to be willing to learn. Because if he didn't learn from all those lessons, and if he didn't have the grit and determination that he had and has, we wouldn't be here talking about business right now.
That's right.
So these are the lessons that you get pushed into in business if you're in it for long enough.
Yeah. It's funny because we had a conversation, Sam and I, the other day, and we're talking about stuff, and he said something to me that's been ringing in my head, and it's been a motivator for me. And listening to your story, it makes what you said to me 100% true. He said to me, you got to be willing to make it happen, run through a wall, is what you said to me. And that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I had bill collectors at a certain point. It was like I had bill collectors pounding on my door, and I'm like just trying not to get served because I'm trying to arrange to make sure that my name is still good. I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Sure.
So I was able to get out of it, in terms of like I got everybody taken care of. And then the surprise, like when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is pretty awesome. All of a sudden I get a 1099. I'm
right.
like, what? I owe another, so I get like a whole nother year of work for free, which was just like the last gut punch, the humbling punch of like, even like the people in your finance are like, you should have just claimed bankruptcy.
Right.
I didn't want to claim bankruptcy. That's not what I wanted to do. I felt like I got myself into this, and if there's a way to get out of it, I want to do everything I can to get out of it.
Right.
And that's kind of like the story. I had a lot of good people and that were with me as well. That Dina stayed with me through some crazy times. I mean, crazy times. So that type of loyalty was unparalleled in my life. I had a lot of really good people. I was blessed with a lot of good people. But that situation, revealed people that were in my life that, didn't need to play as big of a part in my life. Doesn't mean I don't like them or I don't wish them well. I don't pray for them. Like I love them. It's just they can't occupy my space any longer because we only really can have several, maybe 10, 20 great relationships. You can't have 100 great relationships. So for me, it's just investing, now in my team, and then let my team go out and be the light and do the things that, I can't go get lost with customers because then who's watching the business? And if I'm serving my people, then my people will go out and serve the clients.
What I love about where we just went was, talking about maybe you got a young person watching or somebody who's always wanted to start something on their own, and they see guys like you, both of you guys, and they see where you're at now, but maybe they don't see the grind that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago. And they got to understand that grind's going to be there. It's not going to be easy. The grind is going to happen. Maybe it's easy this year. Next year, it might be the grind. I mean, you're talking how long? What did you had started? You said 12 years.
Yeah, I thought I was killing it.
Right.
I was like, I was saving 50, 40,000, like it was good. I was like, wow, every year it's like I'm building and paying off and, and like, how do you go 12 years and in 1 year lose double what you did in 12? Like that's the most humbling thing that ever happened.
You know what's scary about it too is like we both had good runs, right? Like we started our businesses in the early 90s, mid 90s, and fortunately but unfortunately, like the longer you do things well, the more you think but it's actually the exact opposite. So like we had, I started in 92, and really our first heartache started in 2007, 2008. I thought I knew everything, and man, it was a tough time. But that grind that we're talking about here, Steve's sharing with you, that's what makes it great. You either have it or you don't. You either want to deal with it and just come out on the other end. There's so many days it makes zero financial sense. Like he had mentioned to you, he says, I could have filed bankruptcy and started all over. We know a lot of guys that took that route, but it's like, no, man, we got pride. We got, we built reputation. We built the business. We have our name on the line. So you just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But it ain't easy. It's just right.
In 08, just a little of what you had to go through, like how your business got chopped. And that was wild.
It was. We were on a long tear, built a beautiful business. And and we had to make a whole bunch of really tough decisions that they were survival decisions, and you try and make them with you got to make them with integrity. You got to make them with compassion, but you got to survive. And it was pretty tough, but it was what we needed to do to keep moving on. So.
Yeah, and you guys touch on it, but I mentioned Sam saying you got to run through the wall. The next comment was, enjoy it though.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You be cool with the journey.
Wait, where are you going, man? Where are you going? 'Cause
Exactly.
Whoever
Right.
okay, so I just said this. I was talking to Keith before we got here, and I'm like, this is my second podcast. So it is in terms of like being on someone's podcast. This is the second time I've
Sure.
been on. So I was like, everything that happens in your life, the growth that you have in your life, never happens on the hill. It's in the valley. Right. It's always in the valley. And when you're on the mountain, if you ever want to change your view, you have to go to a new mountain, which means you got to go down the valley, then back up to another mountain. So, it's everything is a progression. And for me, I want to live with purpose. I want to live for God, and Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I don't care if that hurts the algorithms. I'm never going to denounce that, but I don't want to be the same as I was last year, and I don't want to have last year's problems. That's crazy. I mean, how many years am I going to talk about the same problem? I want to have a different problem. Right. I like to have a different problem every month, but I try to focus on doing that every year, because we get, I used to look at the wintertime was terrible, right? Like, oh, it's horrible. It's 4 months. It's 4 months that I get to shut down and literally just dissect everything and make it better. And obviously I pulled the trigger with you guys a little later than I should have, but I'm really happy that I did. But that gave me an opportunity. There's no way right now that we would be, I think on Monday we got 115 estimates in one day.
Wow.
It's like, and it just turns on like that. So it's like all of a sudden, I'm running 6 appointments, Right. So it's wild to go to that, and then all the other things that are going on, but it's that fast, and it can happen that fast.
And what's so important about what we're talking about is, sometimes you get in your own head. Like when you guys talk like this just fires me up. I'm like, I'm ready to go run through a wall right now. Okay. But not everybody.
We used to do it. You want? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember? I gotta say something real quick. I'm not even gonna say. I'm gonna shorten this story as fast as possible. There was this guy. We took a bunch of his signs. We put them all over the house, because I used to live at his house, essentially, and I hung this huge billboard. Someone was running for a position. It was a big one. From Tiramisu. And Mike and I hung it from his bed. And you remember, you were so tired from working. We got home early. We didn't work as hard as he did. And he got home. He didn't have the energy to deal with us, because there's 2 of us, right? He had like 2 people that he had to deal with. So he goes, I'm going to bed. 10 minutes. I hear 10 minutes. I hear this. And it broke and hit him right in the head while he was sleeping, and he wanted to kill us. We were running through the house like he wanted to murder us. I remember running down the steps. I remember everything. It was insane. He had this rage look. We didn't mean it, but It was just, I don't know. I don't even know why I thought of that, but I just remember that thump, and Mike and I looked at each other like, oh no, we're dead. Sammy the Bull is back.
So I mean that's what I no that's perfect. I mean, at the end of the day, kind of what I'm thinking is that it takes a certain type of person, and I don't want to like say one is better than the other. Like it's. You want to grind, you're willing to put in the time, the energy, you're willing to deal with the anxiety and the stress, because you know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, even the panic attacks, all
right,
of it.
Right. But
it's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
It is. But that doesn't mean it's for everybody.
It
right?
doesn't mean it's for everybody.
I mean, one of the things you said, it's Dina, right?
Yeah.
Like, Dina is a loyal employee, team member. You need Dina's.
Yeah, Dina's
right.
Dina's my partner. I mean, she's the best.
It's Jill in my world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept me straight. Still does.
Right.
Every once in a while, I'll get a call and get put in line. But we all need them.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't want. I would never mess with Jill.
No. She's tough.
You wouldn't mess with Dina either because she'll do it with a smile and grace that you will like. She will. It's very rare. Everybody never sees Dina mad. Well, I'm close enough to know her to see her mad, and whew, that's wild. It's like you really messed up.
Right.
When her face is red and she's talking to you aggressively, you know that you did something, and there's not even like a
right.
Or you're 100% wrong.
So I mean, the reason why it's important to talk about that side is because. I mentioned at the beginning that, there's so much emphasis on, digital, this and that, which that's my world. That's what I do, But these kids growing up, that may feel like the only opportunity, And is there other opportunities out there,
I think there's more opportunity now than ever for these kids coming up that are willing to work hard and, make sacrifice. Feels like no one's doing it anymore,
right?
Yeah, you know what I
think I had like 20 friends that were doing what I did or something similar, and nowadays it's like I don't know, man. Do you know any young kids that are?
There's a few that I talk to here and there, or that I'll run into, but not like when we were younger. And it's because they're all stuck on the phones too. They don't have the. I mean, we didn't have.
Right.
I mean, I remember getting the Nextel $199 a month. We could talk and send chirps to each other for unlimited.
Yeah.
That was a big deal because your cell phones were $1,000 back then.
Yeah.
It was different, but we didn't have the distractions. And I think the phone and the computers and those things, for most people, you're able to focus and do what you do. But a lot of people just get lost on social media, and then it's like they just waste all their time. So I'm blessed that I didn't grow up in that era, and now I'm kind of forced to learn how it all works. But I'm glad that I was able to not be engulfed in that, because I feel like kids have to learn how to socialize. They have to learn how to speak to people to their face. They have to be able to go out and be humbled or humiliated at times. Those are all important things. I mean, I think even a boy should be. I mean, if you didn't get punched in the face, or at least some. I mean, I got punched in the face a lot. I mean, obviously, but those are. I mean, you know what I mean? But those are important things as a boy. Like especially a young man, an entrepreneur. It's like, go work for somebody for a year or two. Go give it everything you got.
Right.
Make the guy that you're working for look at you and be like, this guy, I love this guy. Like that's what I had done. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just happy to be at work and make money, and I wanted to earn my way. Like I wanted to make sure that if we were looking at the pendulum, it looked better on his end. So
I mean, there's definitely challenges today that these kids deal with that we didn't have to deal with. But I think that's like where the opportunity is really when you think about it, because like I think half my neighborhood was cutting grass at a certain point in their life, Today, not so much. You can't even get a job. I mean, trying to get these kids working, they won't even hire you unless you're, 18 without restrictions. There's so many restrictions half the time it's not even worth hiring them. And so they have those challenges. And then they have this mixed messaging where these kids are online and they're listening to all these all these podcasters talk about how they made, $1 million yesterday, and they have this mindset that it's just they're gonna be rich in 5 minutes, and it couldn't be further from the truth. But that's the opportunity, because if you are willing to work hard and take risk and all that stuff, there's quite a bit of opportunity today in trades that you wouldn't think would be so lucrative because of, everybody's running from them. They're doing all the latest and greatest, and
college.
And college isn't for everyone.
Right.
Our schools don't teach us that, but it's the truth.
Exactly.
It's not for everyone.
Right. I read, it was like a report or like a paper on, I'm assuming we're all pretty close to the same age. You got. I don't know how you. How,
I'm
Yeah.
46. What are you, 48?
yeah, 47. So like,
Yeah.
here's the deal. Like we do have, and you alluded to this, that we do have an unfair advantage that we grew up. I mean, if you boil it down, look at the way our parents grew up and then the way we grew up. Okay, there's a little difference, but I mean, I was still riding my bike, getting baseball cards and chewing the hard gum and like that stuff I was doing. And then later in life, we got the phones, and so we know both worlds.
Yeah, a little
we
bit.
have an advantage. Okay,
I agree.
So when I see my kids and I'm like, oh, it's the phone. At the end of the day, it's my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My parents are the ones who instilled that hard work, and so it's tough right now. Being a parents with younger kids, trying to make sure they're not, they still got the stuff, but they don't turn into we want them to be hard workers like we were taught.
I mean, if you don't raise your kid that way, then you think that they're gonna just come into your business or do whatever.
Right.
And I'm not England, and there's no royalty. Like my kids aren't just because you're my kid, you own a business. Absolutely not.
Right.
I'm not going to be a bad steward with what God's blessed me with to give somebody who has no work ethic something they don't deserve. I'd rather you could just take your inheritance when I'm gone. Right.
We got a lot of direction too as kids, like you had mentioned. A lot of what our parents knew, we knew. Things weren't changing so much. I mean, they weren't the same as our parents, but we're kind of in this space where it's important that we give our kids good direction, and a lot of the things that a lot of the opportunities and a lot of things in the world going on, we're not so astute to. So it's a challenge for us, but really it comes down to direction too, And so that's why I had to say, like, simplifying everything, there's so many opportunities. You don't have to be in the, coding business or in the AI business or in all these, crazy businesses that, myself, probably yourself, don't know a ton about.
Fascinated with it though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No matter what. I mean, when you think about what you're able, I mean, look, imagine back in the day to hit a button and like you're live on
it's crazy
TV with the opportunity of thousands of people. Like we decided to go live 10 minutes before we went live and we made it happen.
Right.
Imagine when we were growing up if you could do that.
Right.
Blow your mind.
Crazy.
Not going to happen.
So I mean, the opportunity is there. Like, and we doesn't matter what industry you're in. You're a technology company.
Yeah, make content.
Everybody is a technology company, a marketing company. Whether you think you are or not, if you don't think you are, that's not going to be good in the long run.
There's a couple anomalies to that. I got a couple buddies that are in the trades that make a substantial amount of money and doing it 30 years under the radar. 4 or 5 guys. They work from 9 to 3. They're not killing themselves. And hey, the solopreneur or that. Some people that's it, and they're happy.
Right.
And I applaud that as well. It's really where you want to go and what journey. What's next for me? Like I'm never going to be like, I made it. There's no other. I didn't make anything. I'm blessed to be here, and I don't ever plan to stop. Right? I mean, I can't. I want to stay married too. So my wife. If I was home, my wife would probably be like, just go do something. Get out of the house, because I always have to. Like, there's always. Can you stay home or no? For too long? Like, what if you stay?
I'm
home
not very good at it.
Like, let's say
though.
you had to stay home for like 2 or 3 days without leaving. Could you do it?
I'd probably get murdered.
Yeah. So there's that. So me too. I mean, I like to have a place to go and purpose. So I like what I do.
I got a Sicilian wife. She always wants to know where I'm at. If I was gone for a few days, I'd get in some trouble. So
yeah.
So, but in any case, so we've talked about the opportunity for the youth. We've talked about, you've been through some tough times, and I think that's a story for anybody. I think obviously everybody's a little different, but if you decide to take this leap and try something on your own, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, plan on, I'm not trying to say to deter people, but yeah, you probably will be homeless. I mean, I was. I'm not going to tell. I won't ever tell anybody. I was not going to tell anybody though. Power wash myself in my shop. I was blessed that I had cover, so I wasn't going to tell anybody I didn't have any place to stay. But those are decisions that honestly I feel like made me like at that point it's like whatever. I didn't have anything, so who cares? If I didn't have anything again, could I do it faster? 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just do the same thing I did to get here, but like how fast could I get here again?
Well, and I think it changes. It changes. There's a layer of, I don't want to say.
We have an absolute advantage starting the businesses at the ages that we started them at as well, because a couple things we didn't talk about is we really had this mentality. We had like nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We had no wives, no kids, no obligations. We could care less. Like we were on a mission and we were going to go build what we wanted to build. And like if we lost everything, I don't know. Like I know you feel the same way. It's like, okay, well, let's just get up and do it again. And thank God we didn't. We both came pretty close, but that's a huge advantage, So starting young is a big advantage. You get married, you have kids, you have your priorities start to change. You want to go home, you want to spend time with your family. You're not going to lose everything, or you certainly don't have the same like mentality. Like, who cares if I lose it? You can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a huge advantage that we had too. So
yeah, it's kind of a small win. I think you're right. I never.
We had nothing. We lived with our parents.
Yeah, I pretty much lived there. So
yeah,
and then we had our office down at my parents' basement.
Yeah.
The first thing we did was hire a secretary with nobody knew who we were, but we had to have a secretary. We have to have it. And Mike's like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was cool. We didn't. I mean, literally, we worked to just pay people for a long period of time. I guess for a young person too, if they, are starting, charge like you already have something, so that way you can afford to have it. I mean, I think that's just real simple. Like if you want to have somebody do your admin and that's going to cost you X amount of dollars a week, then you need to incorporate that into your prices, even if you're just starting out, and then you'll be able to do it.
I think that's great advice.
You'll be able to do it. I mean, that's...
I had a huge advantage also because I have obviously my partner, Johnny, who's been my partner since we were 16 years old. And I was the guy that was like going to go run through the wall. And he was the guy that said, slow down, take a look at what's going on. So it was a good partnership, where I think we probably got ourselves maybe ahead a little bit more, but also not in so much trouble because of the yin and the yang. Which is, huge for us,
Huge.
Yeah, because I'm more like Steve. I'm more like, let's just go blow a wall out and just go. Like, nothing's getting in our way. And
miss a few of the details maybe, but...
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I
Figure it
mean,
out.
obviously, so you get through this, but you still got this mindset of you're a marketer. You know what I mean? It feels as though you have just understood. I went and looked at some of your old stuff on your YouTube channel.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, it just is in there from the beginning that you understood it was important. Like, why is it just you just have always been that way? Was there somebody that you watched and you thought, hey, I like what they're doing and I think that works? How did you just buy into this? We're going to market ourselves.
Honestly, I don't know. When I say I don't know, there was never like, I didn't know that was a gift of mine, right? Like, and I don't really think I have a gift for it, but I just wanted to stand out. But I remember even as a young man, so paver maintenance specialists, our tagline even then when I was a kid was the contractor's choice. Randazzo picked up on that, and the next year all their trucks said in parentheses the builder's choice. So everything that we had done was like people would notice it. So obviously I knew, I was like, all right, I might be pretty decent at this because seeing big PMS trucks rolling around, I mean, there's no way. Like I think I might have been like lucky too, like just because and blessed because PMS is, you're not going to forget it.
Right.
So it literally, I think we had asked your dad, he had co-signed it. It was Rinky back in the day. We got a Savannah truck, and then I was like, I want to buy 3 more Fords, and your dad didn't help on all of them, but he was, he's like, you guys can't just keep buying stuff, I'm like on the hook for everything. So, which he was right. Mike took this crazy payment on that red truck at 11% interest. I mean, we didn't get a lot of good deals. Like his dad helped, but his dad, I think, was also gave us enough room where we could kind of hang ourselves as well. So that was important, because you can't just like tell somebody what to do, because once you stop telling them what to do, then they're going to not do the right thing.
Right.
But yeah, I was buying trucks, and I was like, market. How do I stand out? How do I stand out? And it's just continued to evolve with the PMS and We're the Guys and 1-800-Brick Pavers, and We Fix Brick. We have all these different taglines that we use when we want to target a certain audience. And, knowing those things as well is kind of cool too, is to know who's watching where and demographics. And
yeah, you guys are tracking everything.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to know where the leads are coming from, because that's where our resources and our assets are going. So if something's not working, I would like to either have the opportunity to give it a little more time or chop it and put it somewhere else.
Right.
So
I mean, I've watched your old stuff. I've, saw your stuff for a while. You've always that's been who you are, and you're not stopping. And we started working together with the AI.
Yeah.
Obviously we're not going to have this conversation without me bringing up the AI, because from our standpoint, it allows us to, as a marketer, our business is changing. Right. It just, my responsibility or Smash's responsibility can't just be deliver leads, because if I just deliver leads, but I don't provide a way to help you manage those, the relationship would typically kind of falls apart. I have to, because if I'm helping you grow, I have to provide some resources to help you manage that.
Right.
And we started working together on the AI phone agents.
Yes.
How's that been going? And we haven't talked about it. I mean, you can tell me, I watch the calls, but
yeah, honestly, it's like when you roll these things out and you have different voices in the company.
Right.
Most people don't like change. I mean, they just don't. So, but as they start to see the benefits and see that, like, the texting is insane. I love that, where, even though we call before, 2 hours before the appointment, sends a text, hey, we're really excited to see you, just so they know we're coming, because a lot of people forget. So I think that the texting is huge, because that's how a lot of people want to communicate as well. Email, I mean, I'd be embarrassed to show you how many emails. I think I have like 56,000 that I haven't opened yet. And I don't know how to clear them all. So Trevor, that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. But I don't open my email, but texting is easy.
Right.
I just tell Siri what to say and respond back. So most people will cancel their appointments on text as well, where they're not going to make a phone call, which saves our reps a ton of time. The AI agent is really good. And the reason we did it too is there's several, but number one, I was paying a call center a lot of money. So like when you call our company, we gather the information. So essentially all I was doing was having the call center go through the website and fill out the contact form for the customer, and then hear about all the things that the customer, which is important, but it's not the job of our admin to hear all these things, because they have so many other phone calls and there's a busy part of our year. So what AI does is it allows us to gather this information, all of it, and the AI agent keeps the information it needs on track. And then we're able to call them and set the appointment where it logistically makes the most sense. Now, eventually we're going to be able to, have it book our own appointments. And I don't know if that's a year or 2 years, whenever it
We actually
comes.
just launched where the AI agent can look inside your calendar and book appointments.
That's
So
awesome.
we'll have to talk about that offline. But yeah, that's something that just got released.
So yeah, for our journey with you, it was awesome. You came in and recommended by Sam, And I always hold anything Sam tells me in high regard. You know, Sam's not going to steer me into, you know, maybe a couple times, but not intentionally. So whatever the case, I got with you, and I had just taken a meeting with Go High Level, and I wanted to do it. And my team said no. And I was like, okay. And then when I sat with you, and I was like, this does everything. This is awesome. Oh my goodness. Like everything was supposed to happen, and your time frames were right. You, Alex Xavier.
Yep.
Fantastic. Really good at response. Like, you guys are the real deal. You guys help me. Like, I'm actually putting out your software that you just gave me. So I'm doing the quoting this way. I want to know it inside and out, so that way when we make the transition, I mean, I can show everybody how to do it. And not only that, it's insane how much money this will save your business. I mean, I was spending in April, May, and June $4,000 to $5,000 a month on the call center.
Wow.
On the call center.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Now I'm also paying for the 1-800 number because it's toll free. So I was paying like $900 for the. So for us, it's advantageous to get the client information and then have one of our people reach out to them, set the appointment, and then let the sales guy sell the job, because that's what the sales guy's there for. Answer the questions, do all the things, and give the sales guy the opportunity. Where I was seeing a lot of my team inside, Jeremiah, Abby, Amanda, Dina, and they would leave, and none of their work could ever get done.
Right.
So I thought, like, I never worked inside the office like that, but I was like, I don't know how I would feel about never being able to accomplish anything I set out to accomplish. Like, that's a fail. And I'm failing as a boss. So we started doing different things. Call center was a big help. And now with this, even a greater help, because it not only, is efficient, but it's saving us a ton of money, which then I can allocate those resources to other things, which is huge. So the savings is insane. That doesn't even include the software that I'm going to be able to cancel, which is thousands of dollars I pay a month for other software that I don't need to use anymore. So literally within another week, I'm going to be able to save another, I think, like $1,200 or $1,300 a month, every single month.
We moved all of his estimating, his contracts, or I don't know what you guys call
our
them.
software program that we use is PandaDocs, but it's like $100 per user per month. And it's got the DocuSign. It's got everything that you would want. So
you're doing everything right inside the CRM.
We moved over, and it doesn't cost anything more to add users. He can have as many users as he wants.
Yeah, that's great.
We've moved it over, and it's full digital signature. Literally, it doesn't skip a beat. Now we're working out some kinks, just like everything else.
There's some things that we got to tweak in it, and his team's very diligent in getting these things taken care of. But also there are things that are much better on his program than there are on this other program. And loading pictures is just one of them. I mean, we spend so much time loading pictures. It's so important. And I'm going to even say this to everybody. Sam will probably tell you the same, like your sales guys, everybody out there, you need to take pictures of everything. Because if something were ever to happen, which, a customer might get, you just want to make sure you have everything documented.
Right.
So your job is also a photographer as well. Right. But yeah, how fast it uploads pictures, I mean, that's a huge time saver.
That's great.
Sitting there with the client for 20 minutes while you're trying to upload photos is ridiculous.
That's great.
So yeah, I'm very happy with a lot of the other things that you guys have.
You and I talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago when we did our podcast, right? And we said, the technology is there today for a return on your investment. You have to do it. It's an obligation of yours as an owner. He just mentioned $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month that he's saving for a more efficient system.
Better communication too.
And then he's going to take the money, he's going to put it elsewhere, and it's going to create a gap between him and his competition that if you don't make a move, you're just going to fall behind.
Yeah.
So to me, this is this is exactly the type of person I'm talking about. He's the type of guy that looks at, it's not all about the money for him. It's about making the right moves so that the people inside of his organization that are working their butts off recognize that it's about more opportunity for everyone. You have to stay in front of your competitors. And we always look at things from a monetary standpoint first because we have to be financially responsible to our business. But here we are. We're in a situation where you can do better with your money today, not tomorrow.
Right.
This isn't something fake, and this is real today. You save money, you make money today, and you give your people in your team and your company and everybody in it a better opportunity today. So this is exactly what we were talking about.
I was thinking the same thing when he was talking. He never said, well, I put in AI and I got rid of 3 employees. That's not what happened.
No, I'm not. That's not what,
exactly.
For us, that's not what it's about. I want the people that we work with to feel like, because like EOS, how many tasks can I have these people do?
Right.
Well, I can have them do other tasks if some of the mundane things that go on in a day, like I'll give you an example. PandaDoc, just my guys are going to be, they're watching as well. So in PandaDoc, our office is so busy that the salesmen now have to type out their PandaDocs. Our PandaDoc's not connected to our old CRM, so it makes it a little difficult for the sales guys. You're running 5-6 appointments, so we have to type everything out. So on your program, which is a huge plus, all I do is log in. My information's there. I go into recipients. Jen, whatever. Boom, I see all the Jens. That's her. Click, boom, all her information's there. I'm ready to start quoting the job. Unbelievable, just like that. And I don't need to take Abby or Jeremiah or Dean or anyone off their task. And it takes me no time to do that.
Right.
There's not like, I got to be super organized, which I do. You should still be super organized, but now I don't have to pre-populate and spend my nights typing out to make sure my quotes are all ready. I can show up and do it right in front of them, and it literally takes like 20 seconds, maybe 30 to create the actual, template. So it's awesome, and then you get to like see once you start using this system, I just keep opening it up, and it just like I'm so in. I love it.
I love it.
So I'm looking at all the communication, and like I'm watching my Smash apps going off constantly because I love to check. Like scheduling has been great too because scheduling department schedule a job. I can't go because whatever, the roofers are going to be here or my plumbing doesn't work. I mean, it's wild, this stuff. I don't want to go until May 21st. It's like, okay, well, we know now. We don't know it's 6 a.m. where all of a sudden we got to try to make a pivot and shotgun a job. And I'm not going to say we've shotgun jobs, but it's this helps. This helps with everything. It helps with my reps not having to drive out to a job because the guy didn't call or answer or want to email you. But most people will send you a text, cancel my appointment. And perfect.
Right.
I could spend this hour catching up, making phone calls, checking on my family, talking to a coworker, like
not checking email.
Yeah, you gave me my time back.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really what it's about is your time. Like I don't want to just waste my time driving to somebody's house.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not being rude. I'm here to serve, but if you're not interested in what I have and you're not going to communicate, the only thing that happens is I leave and I'm upset that you wasted my time. But now you make it so easy for your clients to be able to communicate with you. You make it so easy for them to pay you. Anything. What do you believe in? I believe in it too.
Right.
If you believe in it, I believe in it as well.
That's great. That's really good. Really good. So I mean, obviously the relationship has just started, and I know there's some elements to the software that you just absolutely love.
I know.
We don't have to.
Yeah, I don't even actually. You know what? This is for I don't want to talk about that.
That's totally cool.
Until the next podcast, and then I'll talk about it a lot. But
I
feel like I
still
want
the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, not yet.
Right.
There's some other awesome things that they would have to reach out and speak directly to you about. You don't want to give away all the candy, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
yeah, there's some other really incredible things that I'm sure these two gentlemen would share with you that really intrigued me. He laughs, and anybody watching this would probably laugh as well that know me, because I was saying what I was saying for a couple of months, and now it's actually coming to fruition, and I'm super excited about it. So, and it's happening live, and
Right.
It took a little bit, to get it up, but obviously you'll be able to do that for anybody that is looking
Absolutely.
to systemize and automate their business.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about too on our last podcast was, this is it. It's just like hiring an employee. It's not perfect when you launch it. We have things that we set up. You have expectations, and we need to figure that out to make sure that they're aligned. But that typically takes a little bit to make sure that it's working properly. It's not perfect, but boy, does it get pretty close as we work together.
Well, and another thing too. So again, I mentioned go high level, and that you're white labeled that. So whatever, just so people understand this. I'm so happy I didn't go with go high level, because when you read the comments, you need the support to make go high level work. You're not just going to go on go high level and just think that you know how to do it. Like, there's so many integrations and customizations that you guys do as a company that you're not going to get that anywhere else. So again, if you're looking for, a different CRM, and you like go high level because of the features are very rich, you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing with the software. Once you sign your contract with a lot of these companies, they're not going to help you. So you're just stuck with another CRM that doesn't work or only has a limited capacity, where, we had phase 1. We're just wrapping up with phase 2. I don't know where phase 3 and phase 4, but I hope the phases keep coming. And I hope there's hopefully the next one, we're on like phase 7. Who knows? Maybe we'll do this more often, but
Right.
Guys, reach out. Like, this guy is the real deal. And I can tell you, our whole team believes in you and your company.
I appreciate that.
And just to pay homage and say, hey, this is mine. It was mind bending for myself and my whole team, especially the ones that are involved, to just thank you for
I appreciate
opening
that.
our eyes up and having us see clearer. Like, wow, this is insane, and thank you for referring us.
Yeah, and your team has been great too. I mean, that's the other thing, and we've talked about
It's
it
everything.
before, that it's a partnership.
Yeah.
This is a relationship that we have to work together, and your team has been very responsive. I mean, if we need to make a change and we don't hear from your team for a week, that's just not good.
Yeah.
You guys get back to us, so I think it's been a great partnership so far, and I appreciate that.
You got to be eager. So that's the thing, is if you do sign up with them, you have to ask the questions. You have to be involved. You have to communicate. The way you run your business, the same way you deal with people on an everyday basis. So communication's key, and letting people know what you need from them, because it's like, it would be like me saying, hey, Sam, write me a brick paver. Here's the 5 photos, write me a post on it. Maybe he could write a few, but eventually the content has to come, and the communication has to come of what I'm trying to tell somebody in these pictures. And that's important.
This is great, guys.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is great.
Before we go too, I do want to show something real quick. I want Sam to put this on before we go, just because it's been, I think I've had this for, oh boy, how many years has this been? This
15 years.
So 15 years. I've had this for 15 years, haven't I?
Yeah.
I wear this watch every day. I beat this watch, like literally slam it into everything. I could take this over, get it cleaned up at Lucido's, and it'll look brand new.
I don't even know if I can carry that thing anymore.
But let's see if your arm can lift it. I want you to put it. I want you to take yours off.
See, the
and put it
reality
on.
is, I knew Puff Daddy was in trouble before the rest of the world, so I got rid of it back when it was worth a few bucks.
Well, you got to put it on. I do want to see. I want to see your face when you get to put this. It's been 15 years, so I'm not giving it back. No
Did
matter
you
what.
resize it or something?
No, I didn't.
okay.
But I'm thinking just to remember how heavy and big that thing feels.
Yeah, it's pretty special. think my wrist shrunk though.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice.
Wow.
Anyways.
So I had to put that out there.
My daughter's going to go to college because I sold this thing.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I hold on to this watch. This is my, there's not very many things in my life. Everybody that knows me, material things mean nothing, but there's a few things that, this is one of them. And not that Sam's a super successful guy, and it was an honor to be able to receive such a nice gift from Sam. And it's tried and true. I mean, every day I wear this watch and I beat it, and it still looks brand new.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, it's
Love
great
you,
to
man.
have you guys
Thanks for
on
bringing
here.
me in today, too. I appreciate it very
Look,
much.
The fact that you
Happy to
guys
be a
took
part of
your
this.
time, I know you're both very busy, and for me to send you a text and say, hey, would you guys be willing to jump in on a Friday afternoon? And you both said yes, means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. And I hope everyone, regardless, whether you're 65 or 15 today, I hope you got something out of this, that you got to grind. I don't care if here's the deal. I don't care if I got to go work for somebody tomorrow, I'm going to grind. So does not mean if you're not going to own your own business, you don't grind.
That's right.
If you work for somebody, you got to put the effort in. You know what I mean? Because then you've got an owner who's stressing, looking to do whatever they can to give you the tools that they can to make you succeed. So, I mean, in my opinion, you owe them that to give everything you got.
Sure.
You know? So, I appreciate the
time. You got an obligation.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So again, I hope if you're watching and listening, you got something out of it, a little more motivated. And again, you're hearing it from people who have been there, and I don't want to say been there, done that, been there doing it.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely not done that. I just started. So today's the first day of the rest of my life, and I have no plans to stop ever. So I'm gonna just continue. And
Yeah, same here. I just wake up every morning and say, "Thank God." I think I might have more energy today than I did when I started it. I love the action. I love building businesses. I love working with people. I love achieving things.
and you learn along the way.
This is what I love it. This is
right.
Eating, like as we get older, and you adapt and you change your diet, and you change the way you take care of your body, and you start honoring everything. And if you look at everything as a blessing and enjoy the process of weather the valley, you're either going into a storm or coming out of one, right? So enjoy the process and enjoy the fact that it's going to be uncomfortable, because being comfortable is kind of boring.
And put yourself with the right people too, because it's like it can be like a war.
I was just going to
you're
say
a team.
that.
You're going to battle every single day. That's the way that we look at it. And everybody has got to be on the same page most of the time.
That's what I was going to say too, is, what I personally, selfishly, what I've been getting out of these podcasts is being with people who are like-minded and are headed in the same direction. Whether you're looking at them going like, hey, I like where they're headed. I'm sure you said, you both have said it. There's people that you kind of looked up to.
Sure.
When you're around those people, it's hard not to be motivated. It's hard not to feel like, hey, I can do it. When you just kind of live in your little bubble, if you're not going this way, you're going this way. So at the end of the day, selfishly, being around guys like you have helped me stay motivated, So,
well, I mean, Proverbs 27:17, as one man iron sharpens iron, another man sharpens another man. So wild that I'm wearing Proverbs 27:17 while we're all talking sharpening iron.
That's right.
Together, which is not a coincidence. Thank you, Jesus.
That's right. Well, guys, I really appreciate it. It's been good, and I hope that we can do this again very soon. So
I can't wait to talk about what we didn't talk about. So you guys
believe me,
that's all I talk about. So not anymore, because it's actually happening, but I do look at it, 8-9 times a day.
I look at it constantly. I think I got a problem. I can't stop looking at
Me
it.
too. I'm like, geez, oh Pete. Oh my gosh.
I know.
You know, like,
it's like, yeah,
wow.
it's pretty sweet. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, appreciate it. Have a good one. Till next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Take it
bye.
easy.
Thanks, guys. See ya.